I'll take a few moments to talk a little bit about CloudLogic, what we do, and who we are, and the kind of clients that we work with. And then I'll spend some time on our journey, on the APN journey, as we go through the next few minutes. So a little bit about who we are. We do some very specific things for our clients. We actually work directly with a lot of partners to help enhance and expand their consulting capabilities, as well as working directly with clients and different enterprises as well. I'll talk a little bit about our partner model that's helped us to grow our business rather quickly, actually. We take an approach of trying to be disruptive with the status quo. So when we work with clients, we look at a lot of different kinds of solutions to help them meet the best benefits for their enterprise. We use a lot of visualization tools. We're able to generate a lot of data through our engagements, and we use those visualization tools to help our clients be the ones who make decisions, and the ability to throttle information based on different scenarios as they move forward, so that data doesn't become just something they use one time. And then because we use a partner model for a lot of our engagements, we have a model that allows us to be able to engage great talent at various and different levels of experience, yet still affordable to be able to work with partners in different fashions. And then ultimately, a lot of our services are optimized specifically for cloud. Our approach is to work with clients in building out cloud and scale. So where you probably have a lot of different clients you work with that may have deployed a single service or a handful of services or a handful of applications into the cloud, we work with clients to be able to set an enterprise level strategy and execute against it as they move forward. So there are really four things that help drive us into engagement. So M&A activity is a big part of what brings us opportunities. With mergers and acquisitions, it's always a great opportunity to reassess IT, look at the strengths of both organizations, and then take those strengths and deploy them across both organizations. Another one is alternatives to outsourcing. So we've had a lot of clients who have been heavily outsourced, who have outsourced their data centers, their infrastructure, in some cases their talent as well. They found that to not be a great experience. And so what we've done is help them build a model through cloud that allows them to be able to use variable cost and monthly cost in order to be able to reabsorb infrastructure, applications, and services without taking on the hard cost of building a new data center or completely rebuilding their infrastructure footprint. And then another that has been what we've found very valuable is failed cloud deployment. So a lot of early adopters found it was very easy to swipe their credit card and deploy an application. That may be a bad move either from a security perspective or a quality of services perspective, where they're not taking advantage of what cloud really has to offer. I think that most organizations have had a situation where Bob in marketing decides he wants to buy an application, doesn't want to wait for IT, swipes his credit card, deploys it out into the cloud without knowledge of IT, and struggles. We worked with a lot of clients to be able to work through that process. The other aspect is not truly understanding how their applications perform and deploying services and running up high costs. There's a lot of opportunities to be able to work with clients to actually get the right cost efficiencies and the right performance efficiencies through understanding their environment, how their business uses those applications. And then one of the other areas as well is a lot of enterprises right now are facing disruption from startups, particularly in the fintech and healthcare tech spaces, and they need to be more nimble. And so they will source a portion of their organization or their enterprise to take on technologies that allow them to be more nimble, to be able to think more efficiently and more innovatively. And so cloud becomes one of the first places they go to look to help them be able to do that. When we look at the cloud marketplace, there's a lot of different places where organizations fit. But what we find is that there's always an extreme bias. For those that have been deeply steeped in the infrastructure side, there's a stronger avoidance of cloud. Whereas with organizations that are either cloud focused or cloud born, their preference is cloud. What we do is we work with clients to help them understand what the right cloud footprint is for them, as well as what the right traditional organizational footprint is for them from an architecture perspective. So really building a nice mix of hybrid and on-prem and public cloud usage. And as I mentioned earlier, one of our key components is looking at helping clients to achieve cloud and scale. We find there's really 6 things that help clients do that, that's beyond just the technology, that allows them to be successful. First is building out appropriate financial modeling. That's always the basis of what makes cloud successful, because in the end, organizations look at the dollars spent and the dollars saved. Making sure that organizations have the right skill sets to be able to manage well with this new infrastructure, with these new technologies. Building a strong governance model in order to be able to manage cloud. One of the things we find is that clients try to manage public cloud the same way they manage their data center, which typically was not best practices. And when you move an organization into cloud usage, there's a need to take on a stronger approach to governance. But there are so many tools available, particularly with AWS, that it's not something that has to be done at a high cost or an expense of deploying several different tool sets, something that can be done very directly and easily. And then building out and understanding the application portfolio and being able to measure time versus money versus risk in which applications go to what kinds of solutions. And then ultimately a decision tree on how cloud adoption will take place and then executing that adoption. Our client base tends to be in the Fortune 500. We have worked with some SMBs and mid-tier enterprise. Typically, if we're looking at large-scale enterprise cloud adoption, these are long, lengthy engagements. But because clients are first a little bit hesitant to step into large transformation, we engage with what we call 4 beachheads that are typically relatively inexpensive engagements, run 2 to 3 weeks at the most, to either help them set some goals and a roadmap around their strategy, either from an overall IT perspective or a cloud perspective. If they've already started to build out a plan for how they want to transform and migrate to cloud, an assessment of if they're truly ready for that. And then lastly, a model for building out placement models for where applications should reside and the kind of services that they need to take advantage of to be able to perform in a way that the business and the customer expect. What we've done is we've built a method around how we take clients through this process. This method is intended to be something that is able to run in multiple parallels. It's able to run iteratively. It's able to run a lot of different methods, because what we find is that if applications and services need to go through a specific process, and they can do that either individually, and so it can work with a small service or individual service that goes through to the cloud or through the entire enterprise, where there needs to be an opportunity to make strategic decisions, build a structure to how that transformation will take place, do deep and detailed discovery around not just the technology assets, but the financial and the business aspects of how that application or service impacts the business. Build a blueprint for how applications will migrate, the methods that they'll use, their future state architecture, and be able to proof of concept those kinds of things. And then finally, develop detailed planning, potentially develop new code or new tools in place before the actual execution of migration. And then what often happens is clients will transform or transition into public cloud or into a new hybrid cloud format, and they won't really think a lot about the end state before they get there. And so they'll get there, and then they'll decide, okay, well, maybe this is how I'm going to manage it. We look at it from a very different perspective, is where maintaining your services in the cloud really needs to be something that's decided as early as blueprint. So we find that to be a key core component of the process in order to be able to help clients successfully operate once they're there. Because it's much more than just getting them from A to B. It's about helping them get there and be there in the fashion that they're seeking. Our consulting team, we staff consultants, as I mentioned, across multiple levels from a career perspective. We have individuals who specialize in skill sets like management consulting, architects, and engineers that allow us to have the right kind of skill set to be able to define, design, and deploy solutions for either our partners or for our clients. We have a very specific aspect that I'll talk a little more about as we get into our journey with AWS, but I'll call this out now. So we require all of our employees, technical and non-technical, to complete the cloud practitioner. Whether they're partner relationships or marketing or sales, we still have that requirement that they do that. So they really understand the technologies, they understand the reasons for why there's value, not only in public cloud, but specifically with AWS. Our delivery resources, we require they have at least 2 cloud certifications, and one of them has to be a minimum of at least 1 associate certification with AWS. Most of our resources have more. And then our team is located throughout the United States. We are based here in Ohio. I'm out of Cincinnati, but our team is spread out throughout the U.S. So we're able to support clients really throughout the entirety of the country. And we've even helped a few of our US-based clients overseas over the last few months. So like I mentioned earlier, we have a partner model where we have several partners that either white label us or co-brand with us to go to their clients. One of the values in this is firms that may be very engineering focused or very specific skill set focused, have certain relationships, want to take advantage of opportunities to be more in the cloud transformation space, but don't have the skills or the time to be able to build it on their own. We bring that methodology, the capability, where we're able to sell with our partners and deliver with our partners in a very flexible format. We have a few different things that we can bring beyond just our consulting capability. This didn't turn out so well with the ratios on it, but I'll talk to it. We work in a lot of different ways where a client may white label us. We work with their clients directly as if we were part of that partner's organization, where partner may white label or may co-brand with us, or we work in models where partners just refer us and hand us off to clients, and then we provide them some financial benefit as well as working with us. One of the other capabilities we have as well is we are also partnered with Arrow and Ingram Micro, and so it gives us an opportunity to take advantage of and resell really their entire portfolio of products, services, and cloud capabilities. And so it really gives us a wide breadth of not only services, but the ability to resell both traditional infrastructure, software, and cloud capabilities. So let's talk about the important part for all of you, partnering with AWS. So we're actually a relatively young organization. We are just finishing our first year. We have been able to do more than 7 figures in revenue as a consulting organization, not including product. And we started our journey with Amazon almost immediately at our outset last spring. Within about 4 months, we moved to the select partner status, or the standard partner status, and now select, and have set a goal to hit advanced this year. There are some very key ways of how we've done that and how that's brought us value. So I'll walk through those. One of the key things has been integrating well with your partner manager. We've been working with Neely since the fall, but we've had partner managers before that as well. Working closely with them for a couple of things. One, to better understand the program itself and how we achieve the right status levels. Being able to understand where to focus our time and efforts, but also to receive quite a bit of benefit in better understanding AWS, better understanding what's available to us, and better understanding how to integrate. Working closely with them has been really key to our success. The second thing that I'd say is most key is to certify. I cannot say that enough times, to certify. When the partner program changed, it was not as extremely impactful to us because we require our people to be certified. It's worth the time and investment. Granted, it's for perspective of being a partner with AWS, but the other side to it is, I'll tell you, the reason we already started down that path beforehand is because our clients need it and want it. Having all of your resources able to speak fluently, be able to understand the technologies and be able to operate within them is going to be key. And if you're not doing it, I can promise you your competitors are, because my competitors are. And it helps us to be able to win engagements and to be of value to our clients beyond just basic configuration type work. This is where we add a lot of value for us in winning opportunities. Utilize the well-architected framework. There is no reason for you to have to build this from the ground up without already having a model to use against. The well-architected framework will give you what you need to build and design solutions that work the first time. What I saw in previous roles were a lot of organizations that would try to reinvent cloud on their own, and what they did is they missed the boat. A lot of failed cloud deployments because of that. Using the framework will help you and accelerate your opportunity for your business. Same things with the methods and tools. Don't reinvent the wheel. There's so much information and training available to you through the partner portal, even as a registered partner, that if you want to build a capability, you have tools available for you to do that. If you want to do cost analysis, the TCO tool is fantastic. There's so many ways for you to not have to build from the ground up and to utilize what's there. And it's there because it works. It's been proven. The marketing support. If you're not already a standard consulting partner or higher, There's great marketing support available to you that is free for use. We have a lot of tools that are available to us through the partner portal that don't require us to have to pull from a lot of people. It just gives us the ability to go and pull these resources and utilize them. And then lastly, utilize the other AWS resources, not just your partner manager. So this has been something that I've been learning personally over the last few months, is the value in engaging AWS sales, architects, and PS. They will help improve your solutions. I have one particular one right now that's a bit of a one-off and a first time for us related to some archival activities. And the partners, architects, and the sales teams have been fantastic in helping us make sure we put a solution in place that's going to be really valuable to our customer. And in fact, it's helping us displace a different cloud provider in that situation. And so take advantage of it. Once again, it's free. They want to help you win those deals. They want to help you be successful with your clients. Integrate with them, know them, and talk to those accounts. Make sure you're putting things in the opportunity portal. Use those solutions to help you be successful. Feel free to reach out if you have questions. We're happy to help.